and Walter and Ethan, where are they? Molly and Olivia are part-timers. And then, of course, we have our NIR baby, who is too young to be here tonight, but she does work 3 days a week. She's in the restroom, so she'll be coming out. So thank you so much for coming tonight and being a part of NIR and working as hard as you do and representing us professionally and I don't know what more I can say, but my children aren't here tonight. I wish that they were, because they did grow up with NIR. Sophie's now 27 and Ruben's 25. He just turned 25 yesterday. So when I opened NIR, they were 7 and 5. And Sophie wrote something really beautiful today to me that I'm going to ask Brooke to read, because I know I'll get emotional reading it. Brooke actually has been friends with Sophie since they were babies. So it means a lot to me having Brooke here to read this. So.
All right, so these are Sophie's words. As long as I can remember, my mother has lovingly called Nationwide Interpreter Resource her third child. So I suppose this makes NIR my sibling. Mom, you have been a supportive and loving parent to all three of us, and I have loved watching my littlest sibling grow and flourish. I brought NIR along on our school field trips, camping trips, and even to Disney World. I know NIR woke you up early and kept you up late at night. He never really sleeps. NIR has grown so much over the years. Though he doesn't live at home anymore, he never moved very far away. He just grew too big to fit in such a small space. Now, NIR has its very own home. Mom, I am so proud of what you have created. I wish I could be there to celebrate, but please know I am celebrating with you in my heart. Happy 20th birthday, NIR. Here's to many more years.
So it seems to me that she thinks of NIR as her brother, because I always considered it a girl. So that became clear today. So again, thank you so much for coming, and I think Judy and Sandy want to say
Yes.
something?
So June did not want anything, and she did not ask us to do this, but Judy and I decided that we should toast June. And so, being who I am, I wrote something rather serious, and Judy wrote something that's more playful. And I think the combination is who we are, so I think it's perfect. And when Judy does hers, make sure that you pay attention to the shapes of her hands while she's signing. Mine is not in sign language, so Judy has to interpret for me. So, in 1990, the Americans with Disabilities Act was passed. And June Backer was a young mom. Little Sophie and little Ruben. She was also an interpreter. She was a graduate of RIT, and June had a vision of interpreting that was vastly different than what was happening in the world. She believed that professional interpreters deserved to be fairly compensated and that they should not have to struggle to get paid. In those days, she would take Sophie and Ruben in a stroller and go knocking on doors to make sure she got her money to get paid as an interpreter. And if any of you can look back to when it was 1990 and you're old enough to remember, which I am, that's what it was like. We knocked on the door, nobody had our back, nobody was making sure we got paid. But June knew that there had to be a better way. RID had already been established, it had been around a long time, but the professional standards of conduct and educational standards for interpreters hadn't been developed yet. So this is what June's vision was. June was already doing that long before RID was doing that. She was ensuring that we had that kind of caliber of interpreters. June took a risk, and following the footsteps of her parents, Walter and Elaine, she decided, and they had tremendous business experience, she decided to launch a new business, and she had a vision for how this business should look. It was a novel idea. Her idea was, I'll hire interpreters, they'll go to work, and I'll make sure they get paid. Doesn't sound unreasonable today, but it was a big deal back then, 20 years ago, if you stop and think about it. June borrowed money to make sure that we got paid no matter what. When she didn't get paid, we still got paid. That was a big deal. That was really new. Talk about being a risk taker and somebody who's a visionary, that's June. That's what she did. And we take it for granted, me included, because we all do this now. It's something we're accustomed to. But it's not the norm. It's not the norm anywhere else in the country that I know of. I moved down from New England, from New Jersey, from Washington, D.C. I interpreted in all of those communities, and other than when I was on staff, I never had a boss who said, come here, I have an assignment, and I'll pay you in 2 weeks. That never happened. I was knocking on doors and making sure I was getting paid. I was sending bills. And that's where it still is for a lot of the country, except for Riz, who does it the way June does it, I'm sure. So, the years have passed, and NIR has grown. And it's a sizable presence now in the interpreting field. People know our reputation. June still screens every single interpreter. Every person that's ever been hired has been screened by June. That's a novel thing. Other companies don't even bother. If you're certified, you're good enough. That's fine. June always makes sure that the quality of the interpreters is something she's proud of. In addition, professionalism is so important that she's developed something like 100 rules, I think, maybe 150 rules for what we have to do when we show up. Because her name and her baby's name, Nationwide Interpreter Resources name, is on it. And that's why we have such high quality interpreters. Our interpreters are amazing, and they know, and they show up on time, and they're where they're supposed to be, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they understand boundaries, and they do all those things because June has made it her mantra to make sure that that's who she hires. And that's novel. That's still not the norm. Am I talking too fast for you?
No, you're fine.
Just speak loud.
Just speak loud. Oh, yeah. Slow down and go louder.
About 10 years ago, June called me, just to talk about her vision. About 10 years ago, June called me and said, can you meet for lunch? And I was like, okay, whatever. And she said, I think I want to start some NIR workshops. Doesn't sound like a big deal now that we've all been doing them and going, but think about how novel that was. You could stay home, you didn't have to pay, you got free CEUs. We have the benefit of Rizlo making sure that everything is going the way it's supposed to for RID, but not only did she take that seriously, when we couldn't go and get certified anymore, she made sure we had the EIPA exam. Always interested in making sure our interpreters were at the professional maximum that they could be at, and doing everything she could to ensure that they were being mentored the way they needed to be. And when she hired Judy and I, part of our job right from the beginning was to mentor interpreters and to talk to you about what was going on. Again, a novel approach to interpreting as far as I had known, and I'm a lot older than some of you in the room. So. Anyway, so June launched a whole new concept as far as I'm concerned, and it was based on that vision that she had 20 years ago. And today, I don't have a glass. I would like to toast June. All of us, if we could. A toast to June. June, the risk taker, the businesswoman, the interpreter who never stopped believing that we could be the absolute best interpreters in the country. Thank you for your vision and your professionalism, which continue to endure even as our field has grown and changed. We appreciate it. Okay, watch Judy's hands. Oh, I can.
I don't have my glasses. Okay.
Do you have glasses?
No, yes, here's some in my purse.
You need some reading glasses?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just use one. Thank you.
Oh, and I meant to give you the flowers. Did you notice the color?
Yes, you too.
So we have to get painted one. I want it purple. No. Yes,
I'll
exactly.
tip each other.
Okay.
So I think I know Lila's voicing it. So what I did is I took the sign of each of the letters to spell out nationwide, 20, and NIR, and I took each of those letters and I did a sign associated to those letters. So it's not like N stands for Naples, but it's N stands for look, like this. So that's how N shapes.
That's all. Congratulations.
Okay, Judy says that we could get everyone in a picture.